The most notable characteristic of both of these practices is that they occur more prevalently in societies where there's a heavier amount of gender inequality. For example, in India, the gender inequality index is 0.488, while in the US is 0.71. It can be noted that the US has far fewer child marriages and female genital mutilation surgery than India because there is much more gender equality in the US. In these societies, virginity is seen as a very beautiful thing. So, when women are subjected to female genital mutilation surgery, particularly clitorectomies, their pleasure organ is removed and they don't derive any pleasure from sex. So, they are seen as objects just for man to derive pleasure from. As well as child marriages, children are usually still virgins, and this is seen as a gift that they're giving to the man they marry. And this leads us to our topic, women and girls, not objects.
Tara from a small village in Haryana, India was a woman we were able to get in contact with to detail the first-hand experience of a girl getting married young. Tara was married at the age of 14, and she describes the feelings of getting married that early to be confusing and not something a young girl can wrap her head around. In order to simplify the situation, she saw it as a game to her. She describes, "It was like playing family with dolls, except I was the doll and my parents were the ones in control of the game." It wasn't until later in her marriage she realized the game of dolls turned out to be something greater, her life and future. Tara was burdened with problems from the start and envied her friends who were able to enjoy their childhood and pursue their education. Tara had her first daughter at only 17, and while constantly maintaining a positive attitude, she works hard to give her daughter a comfortable life and opportunities to reach her full potential. Tara, most importantly, gives her daughter her own rights to her health and body.
Two outstanding girls in our research are Isitu Jang and Nada Al-Hadal, who both escaped marriages at young ages of 11, Nada, and 15, Isitu. They both created organizations. Isitu created the Girls' Agenda, and Nada created a local organization in Yemen, and both of them fight female genital mutilation surgery and child marriages, which usually go hand in hand. They took a great deal of moral courage because they're going against the societal norm where child marriages and FGMs are very common in their home countries of Yemen and Gambia.
Purity Sunato Oyi is a women's right, health, and education activist from Masai. Oyi witnessed and almost experienced FGM and child marriages firsthand. At the young age of about 10, Purity's fate was set to undergo FGM and be the fifth wife of a 70-year-old. She courageously escaped and was the first girl in her village to say no. After this, she stayed in a rescue camp for 8 years in Kenya and finished her education. She risked her safety, shame from her family, amongst other things. Purity is now an anti-FGM advocate and emphasizes the importance of education for girls and hopes to create a free school for girls of her village. Purity demonstrated moral courage by escaping and rebelling against the cultural norms pushed onto her. She strives to improve the lives of young girls and keeps pushing the boundaries.
21% of marriages in 1 year in the Gaza Strip alone involved girls under the age of 18. So trained by the UN Women's Gender Equality Program, Mosa Abu Tema and Wal Abu Ismail encouraged other men in their small village in Khan Yunis to challenge the idea of child marriage. By talking to their fellow father friends about how child marriage can impact their daughter's physical and mental well-being, it wasn't long until the two educated men flourished into a group of 30 men advocates against early marriage. The men were able to convince a total of 30,000 people in the Gaza Strip to reject underage marriage. These men display moral courage by continuing to take action regardless of the constant accusations they receive for bringing in Western ideas into the community. They urge they won't stop until there's 0 early marriage cases in the entire Gaza Strip.
Agra Men's Care Group is located in Agra, India. Here, child marriage is a norm and a common practice. The group vows to create a different future for the girls in their community. Seeing the appalling number of child marriages, the men's group is determined to reverse this, even if that means to challenge community norms which they go into knowing potential risks. Led by Jatar Singh, the Agra Men's Group meets and discusses different ways to persuade parents out of having their children participate in child marriages, working on different cases at each meeting, preparing their tactics of persuasion. As the group size increases, new members must be taught about the ugly truths young girls are put through in this old tradition. The main mission is to stop the practice. They demonstrate moral courage by fighting for what's right, even though that's not common. They fight against the norms of their society to make a better future for future generations.
Thank you. If you have any questions or want any further information, please contact one of the emails below.